This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
3 words are causing controversy in a central Indiana community. Now at 5 o'clock, why some residents want the phrase taken off the town's police cars.
Plus, improvements could be coming to a busy road on the west side. And this morning, we're breaking down the changes expected to help congestion on Rockville Road.
And we continue to look at opportunities to connect students with the workforce. This morning, our Aaron List shows us how one program is helping students break into the tech support industry. It's 5 o'clock on your Thursday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrett.
I'm Rafael Sanchez, in for Lauren Casey and baby Archie. Hopefully both are sleeping, but if not, good morning to both of our good friends on this Thursday, September the 20th.
Hi, Todd.
Hi, Todd. Morning.
We're happy to have you here as well.
Yeah, it's good to be here once again. I'm bringing more of the same. Rafael,
Yeah.
thanks to...
I'm surprised you showed up.
Thanks for coming to our sunshine and temperatures in the 80s party that
I
we've
love
been
it.
having all
It
week
never
long.
ends.
I love the 80s.
It's going to continue here for the day today with some subtle changes as we work our way throughout the day. But you do not need that rain gear once again today. You just need the sunglasses once the sun comes up. You don't need the light jacket either. Temperatures running a little bit warmer here this morning than they were yesterday when many locations dipped down into the upper 50s, with the exception of some cooler temperatures to the north. We're at 65 degrees in Indianapolis, 56 in Peru, 62 degrees is the current temperature in Richmond. There's a touch more humidity out there this morning, so that's going to make it at least feel a little bit warmer, and that humidity just slowly starts to creep up just a bit as we work our way throughout the course of the week. Skies partly cloudy here this morning. The storm track continues to be off to our west. It is slowly sinking a little further to the south, but slowly is the key word there. It does not impact us still until most likely Sunday, as we'll bring some storms into the forecast. So for today, we warm quick, 80 by the noon hour, with our high temperature today up to 87 degrees.
Todd, thank you so much. As we look at your morning commute this morning, we begin on the city's north side. This is I-69 at 106th Street. As you can see, things are moving rather well this morning as we begin the morning commute on this Thursday morning. We'll keep an eye on your traffic throughout the morning. At this point, no major issues to report on the interstate system in central Indiana. Meredith?
We do want to get to some breaking news from overnight. 3 people, including 2 kids, rushed to the hospital after a police chase ends in a crash on the city's west side. The chase started near 16th Street and Tibbs Avenue around 1 this morning. That's when officers learned the car was stolen out of Hendricks County. The chase ended at 10th Street and Speedway Woods Drive after the driver missed a turn and drove into a ditch. The driver of the car ran from police but was eventually caught. The conditions of the younger passengers taken to the hospital has not yet been released.
Let's go down to a health alert. Free hepatitis A vaccines will be offered to people who may have been exposed to the disease in Lafayette. Health officials say an employee who handled food at Arnie's Market Square on Elmwood Avenue has been diagnosed with Hep A. The employee worked while ill on Friday and Saturday. The health department says anyone who ate or drank at the Market Square store there on those days should get vaccinated within 14 days of exposure. Now, free vaccination clinics will be held at the Tippecanoe County Health Department on North 6th Street next Monday and Tuesday from 8 a.m. to noon, and then from 1 to 7 p.m.
A central Indiana town plans to remove 3 words from its police cars after RTV6 took the community concerns to the department. Dozens of people signed a petition to remove decals with the phrase "All Lives Matter" from Frankton squad cars. Molly Hobbs, who started the petition, say the decals were added in 2016 during the height of the Black Lives Matter movement. She feels some people use the phrase "All Lives Matter" to counter that movement.
I think it's insensitive because the Black Lives Matter movement was created to bring attention to the country, to the world, that these injustices were happening to people of color, and that us as white people should have, listened to them instead of, creating our own movement to undermine them and silence them, and it's just unacceptable.
The town marshal declined to speak on camera, but says the decals are not meant to criticize the Black Lives Matter movement. He says the department chose the slogan to show how seriously Frankton police officers take their duty to protect all citizens. But after hearing nearly that 100 people have signed the petition, the town does plan to remove the decals.
We now go to an eye-opening report, a new one report that shows that payday loan companies swiped hundreds of millions of dollars from Hoosier households in the past last 5 years. The report, called Financial Drain, from the Indiana Institute for Working Families, it highlights the impact of payday lenders on Indiana families and communities. In 2002, the Indiana General Assembly approved policy allowing payday lenders to charge up to 391% APR on small, short-term loans, payday loans. But this report finds that predominantly out-of-state companies have used that exemption to drain more than $300 million in finance charges from Hoosiers.
State leaders want your input on improvements planned for a very busy portion of Rockville Road. A meeting will be held tonight at Bridgeport Elementary on West Morris Street to discuss the project. INDOT wants to add travel lanes in both directions of Rockville Road from Raceway Road West to Shiloh Crossing Drive. State leaders say another part of the project will eliminate the turn lane on that section of Rockville Road. INDOT says the goal of the project is to improve congestion. The meeting starts at 6 o'clock.
The community is stepping up to help an Indianapolis organization after RTV6 told you it's facing a major funding crisis. You see, Joy's House has raised $200,000 since we first told you about the situation just last week. It's in danger of shutting its doors due to a decrease in donations and new cuts to Medicaid. The not-for-profit in Broad Ripple provides caregiver services to adults who need a little extra help. The group still has a long way to go. The fundraising goal, $559,000.
A big gift from a Belgium company will help Indiana State University students for years to come. ESCO Graphics just donated $1.3 million in software to the university. The school's packaging engineering department will use the software. The new tools will help students learn automation, design, and package cutting. ESCO says the software is used by businesses around the world. It is the worst feeling when your computer freezes and you have no idea how to fix it.
And I never have any idea how to fix it.
No.
I always call the IT department, but the students at the McKenzie Career Center here in Indianapolis, they're figuring out the solutions for all your computer woes through their IT program. RTV6's Aaron Lish joins us from our own major networking space, the hub as we call it here at RTV6. And so, Aaron, how can students work their way into a field like IT?
You know, even here you see all of this different technology. A lot of it's connected to computers. So this is a pathway that kids can go to be in this type of field. They're learning everything about computers in their information and technology program over at the McKenzie Center. So what they do is they focus on troubleshooting and problem solving different operating systems. They keep those computers secure away from all those different viruses that you may get. And this really prepares them for computer service technician entry-level careers. And they are at different levels of this program. They will take apart and put those computers back together, rebuilding them to know really the ins and outs of these systems. They also do software skills, setting up servers so they can actually manage networks. And as the years go by, we see it seems like more we're connected to technology, and teachers along with these students agree that more people are needed to work in the IT field.
We are in a deficit right now because of all the evolving of the things in technology. It's just a huge demand.
It's been huge. Like, even my mom and dad said that they're jealous of my opportunities. It's really just great.
For the student Tyler you just heard from right now, he says he has a job because of this class with all the computers, because of the certifications he's already received through this program. He's also getting those dual credits, setting him up if he wants to go to college for computer engineering or computer technology. And we're going to actually hear from him a little bit more in the next half hour and how this is impacting his future career path. But for now, back to you in the studio.
Aaron, thank you so much. The time now is 5:09, and FedEx is gearing up for a busy holiday season. The company is looking to add more than 1,700 positions right here in Indianapolis to help get your packages and your gifts where they need to be. Now, FedEx is hiring for permanent and seasonal positions now and will continue to add more as needed as the holidays get closer. The majority of workers hired in Indianapolis will be package handlers at the Express Hub and ground terminals. They'll also have the opportunity to continue working with the company after the holidays. Check the company's website. We have more information, of course, as always, on the IndyChannel.com.
We are working for you this morning with the health alert. The West Nile virus has now been found in Tippecanoe County. The health department says one mosquito group has tested positive for West Nile. This is the first time this year that a positive test has been reported in Tippecanoe County. Health officials are asking you to take precautions when outdoors, use insect repellent containing DEET, and make sure that you have your arms and legs covered and your property is free of any standing water. Here at 5:10, we've got more of the same from Todd Clausen.
Yeah, I don't think there's much standing water here across central Indiana, with the exception, obviously, of some lakes and some rivers. But those bird baths, if you're not putting water in, they're drying up, most definitely with this dry spell we've been having. So as the kids head off to school here this morning, it's mainly clear. We do not have that patchy fog settling in as of right now, like we've had the past few mornings. That's the good news. 60 degrees on average as the kids come home from school. It's a warm one. We're back up into the mid-80s with skies that'll be mostly sunny later on today. The storm track still well off to our west. That's where it stays here throughout the day. It's slowly starting to drift southward, and rain chances do enter the forecast as we go forward in the coming days. But today, it is not one of those days. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s across the area with just a little more humidity building in as the day goes on.
A teen's murder streamed live on social media and recorded on cell phones. Straight ahead, the message homicide detectives are sending to nearly 100 teens who witnessed that crime.
And a new study shows the opioid crisis is impacting nearly 1/3 of workplaces across the country. After the break, how a new toolkit hopes to help employees and employers.
And at 5:11, we're taking a look at your traffic situation as you head out to work this morning. This is I-70 at West Street. It is all looking fantastic. And you're watching Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday, September the 20th. Hoosiers only on RTV6. Welcome back on this Thursday, September the 19th. And police in New York say a teen's murder was streamed online and recorded by dozens of people watching. Authorities say those watching did nothing to help 16-year-old Cassine Morris. Police say dozens of people watched an unarmed Morris get stabbed during a fight earlier this week outside of a strip mall. That fight was reportedly over a girl, and police are now urging and warning witnesses to come forward.
You need to get out in front of this. After I put handcuffs on you is not going to be the time to be helpful for you. There's got to be about 50, 60, 70 kids here. We have a handful of kids that have come forward that have identified subjects involved in this. There is definitely more.
So here's the latest. At least one person has been arrested and charged with Morris's death. That suspect expected to be arraigned later today.
3 people are recovering after an explosion at a Maryland private school. Police say 2 adults and a child were injured in the blast. This morning, those adults are in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Authorities say the child has already been released. The explosion appears to have primarily impacted a smokestack. Investigators are still trying to figure out what caused the blast, and officials are evaluating just how stable the building is where that blast took place.
The time now is 5:16, and the number of middle and high school students vaping nicotine continues to just simply increase. And that's according to the latest research just published yesterday. The study shows that the number of students vaping doubled from 2017 to 2019. And so far this year, 25% of 12th grade students say they vaped within the previous month. For 10th grade, it was 1 in 5 students and 1 in 11 students in 8th grade saying that they vaped within the previous month. The study looked at data from more than 42,000 students across the country.
A Texas man refusing to stop in the name of love. He waded through floodwaters to help his girlfriend stranded by tropical depression Imelda. Cameras were rolling yesterday as John Adeletta arrived to the scene in Galveston. John says his girlfriend called him after high water trapped her in her car. The heroic boyfriend trudged through calf-deep water in flip-flops and shorts to rescue her.
Well, I did a lot of screaming in my car to get out all the anger before I saw my girlfriend, because I know she would needs me to smile, because this is not a good day.
Well, turns out John was a little too late. A tow truck driver got to his girlfriend first. Still, he was in good spirits when she called him to say she was safe. Yeah, I think I would call first responders before I would call my boyfriend, because I think he would think I was just being dramatic.
How about don't get in that situation so often,
yes,
right?
yes,
I mean,
yes,
in all
yes.
seriousness, the whole issue of turn around, don't drown
is very real.
It's real,
yes.
and so that really put a lot of people in harm's way. So just don't do it.
Yeah. There
Don't do it. Todd Clausen, any good news from your department?
We say it all the time.
Yeah, don't do it.
All the time.
Yeah,
it just takes about 6 inches of water to swipe you off your feet, 12 inches of water to float your car away. So it doesn't take a whole lot whatsoever. All right, outside, we need some rain, actually. It would be nice if we could get some of that rainfall that they have in Texas up here. I continue to update this graphic for you each day throughout the week. Still only 1/100th of an inch of rain officially at the airport in Indianapolis. Nearly almost 2 inches below normal now. And we'll finally get some rain chances in this forecast as we head further into the weekend, but it's not going to be a big soaking rain. Beautiful shot, though, this morning from IMS looking back towards downtown Indianapolis. Beautiful city skyline there. You can see it nice and clear. No fog out there. The past few mornings, we had some minor visibility issues across parts of the area, and not the case here this morning. 65 degrees. The humidity is really, really low. That dew point that is in the 50s. Anytime that dew point's in the 50s, you are in terrific shape. So this morning it's comfortable. As the day goes on, those east winds become a little more southerly, and the one change I think you will notice throughout the day today is that humidity will start to climb a little bit, especially as we get into the afternoon and eventually into the evening hours. 50s to the north, where you may want a light jacket as you walk out the door, but otherwise you should be in decent shape. 60 degrees is the current temperature in Bloomington. We had a few high thin clouds out there this morning. They continue to fade away, and as we expand out, I've been mentioning the past few days how the storm track's been up near Minneapolis. Look how it's now shifted south of Minneapolis. It's still a ways away from central Indiana, but it's starting to make its way a little further south, and eventually that's what's going to get here as we work our way into the weekend. But today it's sun-filled from start to finish into the mid-70s already by 11 a.m., into the low 80s by the noon hour, and very similar to yesterday with the exception of that humidity coming up a little bit. We'll see temperatures that top off in the mid to upper 80s all across the area. And this evening, if you have plans, you are just fine. Temperatures will be falling back down into the 70s under a mainly clear sky. Overnight tonight, temperatures will be in the mid-60s, so tomorrow morning will not be as cool as it is this morning. And then throughout the day tomorrow, a little more in the way of cloud cover tomorrow. So instead of mostly sunny, we'll call it partly cloudy with a temperature that gets into the mid-80s once again. The change arrives as we work our way into the weekend. Some storms could be possible late Saturday into Sunday morning, and then storms are likely during the day on Sunday as that cold front comes through. And you notice that cold front cools us down just a little bit heading into next week with high temperatures in the upper 70s.
Todd, thank you so much. Good morning to Kokomo, Martinsville, and Avon as we take a look at our traffic situation here in Indianapolis. This is I-465 at Arlington Avenue. All is flowing well this morning as we begin this great Thursday morning. Meredith?
The impact of the opioid crisis is being felt in the workplace. The National Safety Council says opioid misuse is impacting 3/4 of employers in some way. However, only 17% feel prepared to address it. On Wednesday, the Safety Council rolled out tools for companies to address substance abuse. The guide helps with safety issues, having difficult conversations and getting employees help without losing their job.
Our research shows that employees that are assisted by their employer, or the employer is the place that they come to actually acknowledge that they have an issue and need help, are actually more successful in navigating through recovery than if it had been a family member or a friend.
Nationwide Insurance helped put this employer opioid toolkit together. Nearly all of Nationwide's employees found to be impaired at work agreed to go through a testing and rehab program.
And next on Good Morning Indiana, a shirt on a popular TV show highlighting Purdue University is coming to real life. How you can get one when we continue as this great Thursday morning. You know, it's the 19th, not the 20th. Like I said a couple of minutes ago, this is Thursday, September the 19th. Maybe you'll wear that, Meredith, right? We'll see what happens. Coming up next.
Drive at Honda of Fishers.
Right now, we may be seeing waves of the future when it comes to jobs and technology.
But in some ways, it's all about the 80s in pop culture. you'll soon be able to get your hands on the same Purdue sweatshirt seen on the season 3 of Stranger Things. The Netflix show is set in the fictional town of Hawkins, Indiana, and the recent season featured some 1980s ice cream lovers sporting some Purdue gear. So Purdue decided to make this limited edition ladies short sleeve sweatshirt. You can pre-order the shirt right now, and you'll start seeing them in Purdue retail stores on September the 28th. So boiler up.
Oh, you just stole my. That's what I was going to say. That's my line.
That's you, because you are a grad.
A human chain helping to free 4 dolphins stranded in a canal near St. Petersburg. 2 of the dolphins were young calves. Wildlife officials say the animals did not appear to be distressed. They waited for the dolphins to leave on their own with the tides, but that didn't happen. So authorities formed a human chain using sounds and vibrations in the water to lead them back out to the bay. I love that.
That's cute.
I would do that for sure to help the little dolphins.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you not a fan?
I'm always afraid of
dolphins?
Of water.
Oh, okay.
I prefer water in a cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good
That's
to know.
just me.
You're not invited to our next beach vacation, I suppose.
But drink a lot of water today. It's going to be another hot day.
Yeah, you know, it's amazing. You don't think of in September, you know, as being high, but it can be warm this time of year. And with the heat, you get dehydrated quick if you don't drink a lot of water. So it's warm straight through the weekend, but Sunday brings the change. It's a cold front, brings one needed rain, followed by cooler temperatures as we head into Monday and Tuesday. Stay with us. We'll be back. The time is 5:27.
Today at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Good morning on this Thursday. Indianapolis teachers want their pay to match the work that they're putting into their schools and their students. How teachers in Warren Township are fighting for what they call their fair share of money.
And one school is closed today after a water main break, the latest on the repair. But first, it is 5:30 here on your Thursday morning. Thanks so much for kicking off your day with us. I'm Meredith Barrick.
I'm Rafael Sanchez in for Lauren Casey. I want to thank Lauren for allowing me to fill in for her today, because I always love watching this view. And so usually I'm not up at 5. What time is it, 5:30?
5:30.
Nope, I'm usually sleeping.
You're looking at the back of your eyelids right now.
And it's a beautiful view, but this is a beautiful view. And Todd Clausen, you're going to provide us with some great sunshine today throughout central Indiana.
Yeah, you know, if you're a fan of sunshine, and I think most people are, we could use some rain, but the sunshine, always a nice thing to have around. And warm temperatures, this is a great forecast for you. You're loving life right now. Over the past few days, you'll need the sunglasses today. You don't need the jacket or the umbrella. And your outdoor workout is good to go. Now, it is a little cooler in some northern locations with temperatures in the 50s now. 56 in Tipton. It's 56 also in Crawfordsville, 60 in Bloomington. A little warmer here in the city, though, at 65 degrees. And here's another beautiful view Rafael was talking about of the city skyline as you look from IMS back off towards the east. So there's a little bit of high thin cloud cover that was around earlier this morning. That is now moving out. We have clear skies back off to our west. Those storms eventually get here towards the weekend. They're very slow moving, but high pressure will keep us high and dry throughout the day today. So we warm quickly, and just like we've done all week long, we should be right around 80 degrees by the noon hour. Then high temperatures today will be in the mid to upper 80s.
As the temperatures increase later today, your traffic flow is increasing as we begin our Thursday morning. This is I-465 at Arlington Avenue. Our traffic system, as you can see, all is moving well in that area. Let's take another look right now at another part of our city. This is I-65 at I-865. As you can see, traffic is building there. The good news, no major issues to report as you head off to work this morning.
We do have some breaking news from overnight to report. 3 people, including 2 kids, taken to the hospital after a police chase ended in a crash. The chase began near 16th Street and Tibbs Avenue after officers discovered the car was stolen out of Hendricks County. It later crashed at 10th and Speedway Woods when the driver missed a turn and went into a small ditch. The driver of the car tried to run from the crash before police caught up with him.
The time now is 5:32, and teacher pay was really a major topic of discussion during this year's legislative session. And some school districts recently they pledged to pay their teachers more money raised through new property taxes.
One of those districts was Warren Township, and now teachers there are fighting for their fair share. Nicole Dorfor is a 7th grade language arts teacher, but says her list of job titles seems to grow longer longer and longer by the year. Dofor is among the teachers asking the school board to give the teachers at Warren Township a competitive salary, a payment to reflect the work they still have to do before and after the bell rings.
Because I'm usually there at 8:30 when I'm supposed to be, and I usually leave around 9:30. And I have 2 children and a husband who's a firefighter. I'm giving my life to the school, and I'm choosing to do that. I need some money.
Earlier this year, education advocacy groups estimated that Indiana schools would need a 9% funding increase to pay teachers salaries that are comparable to those in neighboring states.
Park Tudor will remain closed today because of a water main break. That break happened on College Avenue between 71st and 75th Streets. That happening yesterday. The school posted on Twitter saying all classes and campus events are canceled because the break is impacting the water supply. Now, Citizens Energy Group says the broken main was installed back in 1940. The repairs to the broken main are finished and College Avenue is back open this morning.
Computers are integrated into our everyday lives, and students are looking to become your techs to help keep your electronics running and to keep you connected to one another. With more on this program, getting students classroom to career ready, is our Aaron Lish. And Aaron, you are down inside our station's hub where we have connections to our sister stations across the country. There is a lot of technology down there. So how do students get into this line of work?
So what they can do is they can come here if there's problems with the networks, the servers, anything computer related. They are the ones that will be coming here to solve it and fix it. And they're learning these skills through the McKinsey Center's IT program.
We can also test the connectivity to the main office on this as well.
Tyler Wilson is all about the realm of information technology.
Computers are interesting in their fact that it's the new age.
Tyler and his fellow students figure out all the system components of a computer, like managing networks, troubleshooting viruses, and building their own computers.
Getting into computers is sort of like making sure that I'm the guy that people can look towards when they need help or anything else concerning the technology end of everything.
They get multiple certifications in computer technology, impressing not only Tyler, but his family.
It's been huge. Like, even my mom and dad said that they're jealous of my opportunities.
And once we get that, we'll need to just make sure you have everything connected to the switch okay.
Instructors say this not only sets them up for college success, but also to get them into a career immediately, because the IT industry needs more people.
We are in a deficit right now because of all the evolving of the things in technology. It's just a huge demand.
Tyler plans to go into IT after graduation to make money and to enjoy the work he's doing.
It's a great opportunity, and everybody needs an IT guy if they've got a computer.
IP address on this route.
So for computer network and computer tech specialists, they will make an average of $50,000 to $60,000 according to federal data. And in the next 10 years, that is going to go up by 10% for the number of people that they need in this industry. So definitely this is a field that needs more people, and these students are hoping to fill those roles. Back to you in the studio.
Aaron, thank you so much. The time now is 5:36. A lawyer representing the man accused of abandoning his child in Tippecanoe County says that his client is a victim. Michael Barnett turned himself in on Wednesday afternoon there in Lafayette. We've been following this bizarre case since last week. Police say that Barnett and his then wife adopted the girl from the Ukraine back in 2010. The girl told authorities the couple rented an apartment for her in Lafayette 3 years later and never spoke to her again. Barnett's attorney says there's more to the story.
He's always said he's innocent, and he wants his opportunity to go through the due process in court and show to the court and to the world and to his community that he is, of course, innocent of these charges. As I've indicated before, Michael is a wonderful human being. He's a pillar in his community. He has a big heart. He thought he was doing the right thing 10 years ago when he took someone in his home. And from his perspective, he was as much of a victim as anyone in this whole scenario.
Kristen Barnett has not turned herself in just yet. The couple, they face neglect charges. You can read more details about this ongoing case by going to the RTV6 app and clicking on this story.
100 kilos of cocaine and 130 pounds of marijuana will not make it to their final destination after a major interstate drug bust here in central Indiana. State troopers found the drugs in hidden compartments inside a semi-tractor trailer while searching the vehicle Wednesday afternoon on I-70 I-70 near State Road 39 in Hendricks County. The driver now faces 4 felony drug charges.
Indiana's Attorney General says he will support the multi-billion-dollar settlement with OxyContin maker Purdue Pharma. Curtis Hill made a statement yesterday saying the tentative deal would get money flowing to help deal with the national opioid crisis. Purdue Pharma has since filed for bankruptcy in its plan to settle thousands of lawsuits across the country. 24 state attorneys have opposed the settlement, calling it inadequate.
It was a solemn birthday memorial for an Indianapolis man who died nearly 3 years ago. Yesterday would have been Curtis Wooden's 58th birthday. He was shot and killed in December of 2016 outside an apartment near 21st Street and I-465 on the east side. His widow held a vigil at the scene of the shooting last night. Years later, she is still holding on to hope for new developments in the case.
But I just wish they just come forward, you know. Because I'm pretty sure they have a family too, you know, and when you kill somebody, you mess with the whole community.
If you have any information, you can report tips anonymously by calling 317-262-TIPS.
Today, community members and faith leaders will come together to put together a strategy to counter the city's gun violence in a live, free town hall. The strategy they're hoping to implement is called Group Violence Intervention. Leaders with Faith Indiana say it's all about treating people like human beings, focusing on those most likely to be involved in gun violence and then supporting them to turn their lives around. The live free town hall is tonight at 7 p.m. at Witherspoon Presbyterian Church on Michigan Road here in Indianapolis.
The contaminated property on the north side of Indianapolis may get a fresh start thanks to a big grant. The city received $345,000 from the state to clean up the site of the former Colonial Bakery at the intersection of 24th Street and Winthrop Avenue. Leaders are hopeful that once that happens, the area will be redeveloped.
So today we're celebrating more than just remediation of this site, but we're also celebrating what this site can be and how it will once again serve as an asset to the neighborhood.
Once the contaminated soil is removed, the city hopes to get a new owner. That will likely happen next year. It is 20 till 6 on our Thursday morning, and Todd, we got another repeat.
Yeah, you know, one minor difference today is the humidity will start to come up. It's not bad here this morning, but yesterday was just absolutely terrific with low humidity and all that sunshine and temperatures in the 80s. Humidity still low this morning. Temperatures will hold in the low 60s here throughout the metro area. Once you get outside the metro area, many locations are in the 50s currently, so a little cooler to the north. As far as your lunch hour, should be beautiful out there. Temperatures will be climbing through the 70s into the 80s. Try to head outside. Skies at this point are still mostly sunny, and then as we get into the afternoon hours, that's when our high temperature will top off right around 88 degrees. So we get really close to the 90-degree mark today. Our average high, keep in mind, is only 76 degrees, but look at the trend as we work our way into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We do inch closer back to that normal high in the 70s. The culprit, a cold front that comes through. That front also brings us some needed rainfall. We'll talk about it coming up in Maine Weather in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. A chilling back-to-school PSA wants to inspire action to stop school shootings. Straight Ahead One creators say they intended it to be hard to watch.
And the union strike against GM enters day 4. After the break, how the holdup is now causing layoffs north of the border. That and much more coming up on Good Morning Indiana.
But first, here is a live look from our INDOT traffic cameras. You can see traffic starting to pick up here at I-70 at Sherman Drive. No issues to report right now. It does, nope, that is just the reflection on a sign. I thought that was a car there with its hazards on. It's been a long week. We'll be right back.
Defer Lumia today for a clearer tomorrow.
On this Thursday, good morning to Plainfield, Columbus, and Fishers. As we take a look at your traffic here in Indianapolis, this is a live look from our Traffic Now traffic system. INDOT camera at I-70 and Minnesota Street. All is looking fantastic on the city's southwest side. Meredith?
Sandy Hook Promise wants students to be ready for the idea of a school shooting. They released a new PSA for the new school year, but many parents are saying it is so hard to watch. The message is that students need to be prepared for the possibility of a shooting. Sandy Hook Promise has trained more than 7.5 million students and adults about identifying behavior that could lead to a shooting. Mark Barton is the co-founder of Sandy Hook Promise. He lost his 7-year-old son Daniel in the Sandy Hook shooting.
That I want to prevent other families from having to live this pain. And we are doing that. We are doing exactly that. We are preventing these mass casualty events. There are little towns across this country that nobody will know the name of because a horrible tragedy did not happen there, because students following the Sandy Hook Promise training took that next step and prevented something bad from happening. So that's tremendously fulfilling to me, and it's a beautiful way to honor my little Daniel.
The group also wrote the Stop School Violence Act that became law last year. They also rolled out an online program this month teaching kids about kindness and empathy.
As the GM strike enters now its 4th day, it is starting to take a toll north of the border in Canada. 1,200 GM workers are being temporarily laid off there because of the strike here in the U.S. The company says the issue, they're not getting the parts that they need from the U.S. 50,000 American workers, including Hoosiers, began the strike Sunday night, demanding higher pay and better benefits. GM and the United Auto Workers Union still have not reached an agreement as of this morning.
After being closed for years, the Washington Monument will reopen for visitors today. The famous D.C. landmark has been under construction after a 5.8 magnitude earthquake damaged the monument in 2011. It caused nearly 150 cracks in the marble structure. The monument initially reopened after $15 million in repairs, but then closed again in 2016 when an elevator cable snapped. The National Park Service says they have fixed the elevator and made additional upgrades. But there's no need to head out to our nation's capital for a vacation because our weather here has been great these past few days. And Todd Clausen says it's going to be just as good today again.
Yeah, temperatures today going well up into the 80s. In fact, it's not out of the question. Some of you could hit the 90-degree mark later on this afternoon. Today, our average high should be 76 degrees, and it's September the 19th. By the end of the month, the average high drops down to 72 degrees. So September is one of the months where we see the biggest drop in our average high temperature. We started the month off averaging in the 80s. However, averages don't always work out, and that's why they're considered averages, because we're well above average here this entire month. A beautiful shot here as you look at the city skyline. Temperatures this morning range from 65 in Indy to 55 in Kokomo right now. 60 in Bloomington. 58 is the current temperature in Muncie, and skies are mainly clear. There was some high thin cloud cover throughout the overnight hours, and as we push into the morning commute, the clouds continue to fade away. So the sunshine, it'll be plentiful for your morning drive once it comes up, which is right around 7:30 here this morning. So off to our west, you do notice the showers and storms still making their way through parts of Wisconsin back into Iowa. Yesterday they were up near Minneapolis. They're just slowly starting to inch their way southward, and that trek will continue over the course of the next few days. They really don't impact us though until we get to the second half of the weekend. So today is going to be a day that features mostly sunny skies throughout the entire day. We warm quick once again to near 80 degrees by the noon hour. We're into the mid to upper 80s for your afternoon highs. One thing you will notice, and I wrote slightly humid in here as we get to 6 o'clock, the winds are going to turn a little more southerly throughout the day today, and that's going to increase the humidity. There's hardly any humidity at all out there this morning, but as the day goes on, you'll start to notice that a little bit more. And then overnight tonight, as a result, temperatures don't cool off as much. We're looking at temperatures that'll be in the mid 60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies for us throughout the day. Temperatures will be a little bit cooler tomorrow due to the additional cloud cover, and can't rule out the chance maybe of a stray shower in northern locations tomorrow, but it's just going to be far northern parts of the state that has that shower chance. So for the Friday football frenzy and all the high school football games across the area, it's a warm evening tomorrow. 80s at kickoff. As those games wrap up, temperatures will be in the mid 70s. Then as we look ahead to your weekend planner, Saturday partly cloudy. It's the warmer day of the weekend with a high temperature of 87 degrees. And then as we work our way into Sunday, that's when the cold front arrives. Scattered showers and thunderstorms bring some needed rain rainfall to the area. Some areas will see more rain than others, and we'll fine-tune that as we get closer to the event. And then temperatures will be running a little cooler and closer to average heading into next week with highs of 78 on Monday and Tuesday.
Todd, thank you. We are taking a live look right now from our INDOT traffic camera on I-65 at Lafayette Road. You can see traffic there on one side of the road crawling. That is because construction is going on in that area. You can see those construction barrels in place. So if that is part of your commute, just anticipate that there will be some delays in that area.
We will keep an eye on that. Here is something new at 551. Amazon now says it will accept cash payments from U.S. customers. They've released a new payment plan with the help of Western Union. With that plan called Amazon Pay Code, customers can receive a code and a number when they check out online. They can then use the code to pay in cash for their order at a local Western Union. Amazon says the shopper has 24 hours to send the money and there are no additional fees.
If you buy avocados at Kroger, you might have noticed they are staying ripe longer. Kroger is now selling avocados treated with a special plant-based solution called Appeal. It forms a thin edible plant material that slows down water loss, allowing the avocados to last at least twice as long. Kroger will sell limes and asparagus with Appeal as well. The treatment doesn't cost more than regular produce because it saves stores money since they throw away less food. A big win-win for everyone.
Let's see what happens with that. It's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's not Superman, but according to the U.S. Navy, right there, take a good look. You know, that they say that's a UFO. After the break, the mysterious video that has the world, Indiana, talking this morning.
Drive at Honda of Fishers.
Mercedes-Benz is looking to add some luxury to the electric scooter industry. The German automaker released this sneak peek of its first e-scooter. Mercedes teamed up with a Swiss scooter maker to create the ride. It'll come with a classic black coating and the Mercedes logo. The e-scooter is expected to hit the market in early 2020. I doubt, though, that they will be available to rent, Raphael, because I'm guessing they'll be a little pricey and they wouldn't want people throwing them in the canal like we've seen in the past.
We'll see if they compete with Lime and all those, and Bird and all those other companies here in town. But from one fast-moving object to another, we've all seen images of supposed UFOs. But now the Navy is confirming one video is in fact the real deal. Take a look for yourself with that cup of coffee. The footage is from 2015 and includes audio from U.S. fighter pilots trying to understand what they're seeing. They initially say it's a drone, but notice it moves in strange ways. The Navy confirmed the video is the real deal, but officials say they don't know what that mysterious object there in the sky is. We'll have to wait and see, I guess, after a couple of years when they unseal those records.
At Area 51.
Call 6 Investigates.
Yeah, get on that, Raphael.
In 2045, we'll have the answer to that.
Let's send you up in a rocket ship and see what you can find.
I'll do it. That'd be fantastic.
See Bruce Willis out there?
I love that movie, Armageddon.
Armageddon?
Yeah.
Out there, he's trying to figure out what it is. All right. Outside right now, we're dealing with temperatures in the 50s and 60s. It's comfortable this morning. The humidity is really low. These temperatures are actually running just a degree or two above normal. As far as we go into the rest of the day, partly cloudy skies with temperatures well above normal, and we'll see temperatures that'll top off right around 88 degrees. One thing you will notice throughout the course of the day today is the humidity. It's comfortable right now. It'll climb as we go throughout the course of the day. The time now is 5:57. Stay with us. We'll be right back.